Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Look at that. No snow, viewers. Well, there's little bits of it left over from yesterday, but basically all melted. Other than where the sun kind of didn't get to. But that should be taken care of today. It should supposed to get up to 5 degrees Celsius today, which is I think 41 degrees, I think. So more than likely this will melt today. And we're still burning next winter's wood, of course, as it's cool out this morning. Pile's going down. I might end up with no wood out here. Holy cats, what? Anyway, yeah, it's supposed to be a little better weather coming. I kind of think maybe, possibly could be, may not be any more snow, maybe. Anyway, so I will have a look at the weather here. I got the fire going already. Alright, so we're at 0 degrees at the moment, and that's 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are west-southwest at 26 miles an hour, or 42 kilometers an hour. So yeah, they're saying 5 degrees and sunny today. Tomorrow a little better, 7 and sunny. Saturday is 7 and cloudy. And next week's not looking that great, but at least it's not snow related too much. Temperatures are 7, 4, 8, and 8. Mostly kind of rain. The only thing is that one. And that's that's next Monday, so that could very well change by then, that's for sure. So not too bad for weather. Well, it's not great, but I mean, it's a lot better than what I've been having. Holy cats. All right, let's have a quick look at the loader tower here. And I don't seem to see any leaks, I don't think. We'll do the finger test, I guess, and see if anything gets wet. Dry as a bone. No, that's good. That's sealed up. That's all I was looking for. So that's ready to go back to my son's place on Saturday. And like I say, we got that plugged up and this plugged up. And this here, we'll have to do some thinking now on our hose routing and all that kind of stuff. But we'll probably end up mounting that on the other tower somehow. Or doing something like that. That's more stuff to think about for the loader project. Hopefully we can get to that someday. Anyway, that's that. So now I was going to get to this today. Take that off. That snow thrower off of that case tractor. And you just never know. Things kind of change direction around here, like how a butterfly flies. Always changing direction. So that's what happens here at Knowles Garden Tractors and Firewood. You just never know what is going to take place in the run of a day. Okay, let's go over here and we'll talk a bit about this here, which is something I might do. I've been going to do this for, oh boy, almost 2 years now. So I have this plow point and I have another plow point down in that box that looks the same as that one. And it is wore out. Now, if anybody knows anything about plowing, and I don't know very much, I just do it for entertainment. But I do get into a plow match each year. I ended up not getting into it last year because I hurt foot and couldn't drive tractor. So I missed out last year, and I only get to plow once a year, basically. The odd time you might get a couple of guys that want to go and plow up a field somewhere, but that's very, very rare. So my plowing consists of a plow match once a year in the third week or so of August, third weekend, I guess you'd call it. Anyway, yeah, there's my scores from 2014. I came in second that year. Woo-hoo. The first year I plowed, I came in last. So now, I didn't know much about plowing, and of course I still don't know a great deal. But I've showed this before, but anyway, the reason why I came in last that first year I was plowing is because of plows that are shaped like that. So that plow, because of that shape, the plow itself doesn't know whether to stay in the ground by pulling down or come out of the ground by pushing up because it's wore out. Plows have to have, they come out so far, then they slowly sort of tip down, and the part underneath in there that's kind of like a little gully or divot or whatever is called the suck, and that is what's supposed to help pull the plow down. Once that gets worn off, then the plow, when it's in the ground, like I say, it doesn't know what to do. It's either trying to come out or go in, or come out or go in, and that's real hard to do to control on an old tractor like mine, and on any tractor. So I'm going to put new points on it, new ends. I got these from a fellow that I plow with. He's from Nova Scotia, and he comes over to our plow match. So each year he gave me these points. These are off of a Cumberland, or however you say that. And this is a much harder metal. These here are kind of like a cast steel of some sort, I guess. I don't know my metals very well either, so you could put a brand new set of those on, go plowing for a day, and that's what they'd look like at the end of the day. Wore out. Those are $55 a piece the last time I bought them. But yeah, they don't last. If you were into doing farming and had lots of ground to plow, holy catch, you'd go through a bunch of those by the time you were done. All right, so then, yeah, so these are harder. And what my buddy does, he cuts these off and he welds them onto these. So he gave me that to do, and I can cut the other end off for the other point. And now, I'm not a welder. I was never trained in welding. That's only what I've kind of seen or learned or heard or watched or whatever. So that's all I know what to do. I don't know where to cut these, but I do have lines already made up that I kind of got looking at. And I don't know if I should be going back further and cutting them, or I don't know. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do, is cut across there. And then once I have a cut, then I'll kind of try and V them out top and bottom, hopefully, a bit, and then put the weld to them. So I'll have to preheat them. So I have a MAP gas torch that I can preheat them with, and then I'll throw them in there in the fire for the day, kind of thing, and let them cool off so they don't crack. Cool off slowly. Now, the welding rods, of course, I've never used these welding rods before because I just never even knew what they were. Never even knew what kind of welding rods were for. Anyway, rambling again today. So that's what I got to use. That's what the fella told me to do, is use that. He's a machinist type of fella, and he's done lots of his own plows, and this is what he uses to weld up his plows. So I figured, well, I guess that's what I got to use. So. And he says to use those because those are dissimilar metals. So that's what the plan is. Now, I'm kind of hoping to do a little bit of that today, maybe. And maybe not. It's hard to know yet. Anyway, I have welded up on these before and put new ends on them. I think I did this one, maybe. Yeah, it looks like I've welded on there before at some point. So now I do have two brand new of these, and of course I can't find them. So I even had trouble finding the other one of these. I looked here yesterday, and I looked, and I was holy cats, I can't even find the other old one. Anyway, I picked up this box, and there it was. Here. Anyway, if I had a new one here, I could show you the difference in them. Quite a bit of difference. The new one would be probably that much longer, and it would be from here to probably here wider. So basically a shape like that has worn off of this. Yeah, wear out quick. So, yeah, plowing ground is hard on steel, or this stuff here anyway, this cast steel, I guess it is, I don't know for sure. And if I can get this onto here, and if I get to plow this year, I'll be able to see the difference, if it makes any difference. Well, this being a harder type of steel, this is the top-notch plow material here, apparently. Anyway, I'm rambling and going on foolish, so I'll get back to you later if I get any further on this. All right, we kind of got set up here, so after din, I'm hoping to cut those. And we've got a grinding wheel on here. We've got a couple of cutting ones here. I'm not doing very good with the camera work here today. And this one I've marked number 1. And this is number 1. That's number 2. And that's number 2. So these, I think, will cut fairly easy. This, I have no idea. I don't know how much I'll show you of that. I'll probably just do it and then show you, I guess. But so, like I was saying, once I get them cut, then I'm gonna V them somehow, so I get a better grip with the weld, hopefully. And I got my fire system in place. And that's about it. It's not really that warm out yet. Sunny, light wind, but it's still not that warm. You're supposed to get to 5 degrees, but that's not that warm, is it? I don't think it's there yet. So anyway, we'll see what I can do here today. I don't know how far I'm going to get along, but it depends on how that cuts, I guess, and then we'll have to start thinking about the welding. So as you know, I am not a trained welder in any shape or form. I use electric welding because that's the kind of the in thing to do for some reason. I guess it's I don't know if it's the in thing to do, but it's the modern thing to do instead of using torches. Now, if I could use torches on that, yeah, no problem to weld that. But you got to get that stuff some friggin' hot to weld with a torch. Steel welding or bronze welding, boys, I can do that, no problem whatsoever. And I've welded stuff before with a cotton torch. That's how hot they had to get it. Thick stuff. Anyway, it's expensive to gas nowadays, and I guess that's the reason why electric is getting better, because electric is fairly cheap to use. You know, for home stuff, you know, I don't know about commercial. Anyway, there we are. That's another little part of the video for today. Well, I got these cut before dinner, so I'm going in for dinner now. This was about what I thought to cut. It just took time, but it cut all right. This here, hard. It took about 3 times as long to cut that piece. So now I got to do some figuring out on how to set that. I want to have, it's still hot. I want to have this tipped a little bit for the suck part underneath, like I was mentioning. And yeah, there's going to be some goings on there, I'd say. And typical welder like me, a lot of grinding to make it look half-wise. Alright, so that's as far as I'm going to go for now, so I'll get back to you. Alright, I kind of got her ground up here to where I think it might work. I have this piece kind of V'd a little bit so I can get in closer to the center. Holy cats, that stuff is hard to grind, and holy. And this stuff is not as bad, but there's more material on this one, so it's just about as hard. So I kind of got that ground off a bit so I can kind of get into the center. I guess it's kind of hard to see. And I'm going to have some extra material here off of that piece. So once I get this on here, and then I'll have to do some grinding maybe here just to kind of make it look half-wise. I suppose the ground and the plowing won't matter, but people will be looking at it, so yeah, I don't know. So anyway, I'm hoping to have that sitting about there like that. A little bit extra out on this edge, because that's the first place where it's going to wear. So that'll give me a little bit to maybe help, or to grind off and straighten up as it wears off a little bit maybe. And like I say, I'm going to have some extra metal here above this, and then I'm going to have extra metal here above that. So might be a little bit of grinding here, and then a bit here. Anyway, now the problem is to try and get that on there and hold it in place whilst I try and get a tack on it somehow. That's going to be the next thing. There's only going to be one of these done. It might be next week before the next one is done. Anyway, that'd be good for now. I'll see what I can come up with. Alright, so I guess I can't seem to figure out a way to hold this onto here, because everything is kind of a different type of shape. So I'm going to see if I can tack it in a couple of places with the half welder, just to hold it. And then maybe I can still do some adjustment, maybe, if I need to. Anyway, that is going to be the goings on here in a few minutes. So I'll get you back once I get that done and see if it even does anything. Alright, so we got our tack there. I'm surprised it worked. There, and a little bit in there. Hard to see, but anyway. So now I can yeah, I guess now I can do the major welding. But somehow I got to get it stood up like that, maybe outside, and I don't have any kind of a vise or anything out there, so there could be some goings on to get that done. Now my only thought is I'm a little bit too far back that way, just a hair maybe. Anyway, I've got less room now for what they call a suck in here. So I might have to grind a bit of this away to kind of make a thing like that, I suppose. But I can do that after, I guess so. This stuff is not too bad to grind. I don't know what the welding rod, I got no idea about that. I've never used them before, so whether it grinds easy or it don't grind easy, I don't know. Anyhow, that's a start, so we'll have to see how we get along here. I don't know if I'm going to finish this today or not. All right. Back in a little bit maybe, or maybe not. All right, I guess we pretty well got everything set up here. We got the welder going and everything set up here. So I'm going to give it some preheat with the mat gas. And we got the welder on the low setting, set at 80 amps. Box says anywhere from 40 to 70. So my thinking is I'd like a little more heat, I guess. So how I would know that, I have no idea. But yeah, so we're going to give her a bit of a heat in here, and then we'll see what happens. And the other thing is, I don't know if these rods are any good now. They're probably a year and a half old, so hard to say if they're any good. Anyway, I'll set you up over here so you just kind of see the flash on the building. And you don't see any flash in the lens, I guess. So I don't want, and I don't know if because you get arc eyes through watching the flash on the camera or not. Anyhow, we'll give her a little blast of heat here first. It's not really warm enough outside today to be doing this, I don't think, but anyway. Alright, there we go. And we'll see what happens, I guess. Not hot enough, I don't think. For me, anyway. It sticks too much. That's why they call it a stick welder, I guess. I guess we're up around the 100 mark now. Let's see what that does. I don't know if there's slag that comes off or not on this stuff. I'll give it a little bit more here yet. Alright, so I think I will turn it over. Now they got it welded, it might stay in place now without me having to worry about it falling and breaking the tack rails off. Let's see if we can get another ground here somewhere maybe. Alright, so we got her turned over here now. We'll give this side a little blast. Didn't really like that pass, kind of still too cold on the weld, I think. I'll give you a look and see what you think. Anyway, that's all going to get filled in, I would say. Flip it over and let you have a look at the other side, and then I'll probably stop this if it's just going to be too long, let's say. Almost looks like it's cracking. I hope not. Alright, I'm going to shut this off there for now, and I'll show you the end result when I'm done. Alright, there's the finished product right there. So, sorry about the vertical video. Somehow the camera got switched around to vertical instead of horizontal. Not too bad looking, I guess. I don't know, but anyway, they seem to work well on rods for a fellow like me. Alright, that's going to be it. I got to get this into the stove so it won't crack on me. Have a great day wherever you're at and whatever you're doing. There, I'm back again. Holy cats, yeah. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you. Here's what you do. You just throw it in there. Leave it till tomorrow. Alright, I'm going now. Goodbye.